ba? Picture, Rahel. Rahel. Rocky.
Rocky Raccoon. June2023. Hindi, meron kang ito. Ito na yung pala.
Sabi natin kay Didi, Chicago still there.
Malaking po.
Ayun yung the beam. Yun yung the beam. Parang stainless steel na structure.
Muna pinasal tayo ni Hermie dito. Kakaunti lang ang building mo.
Dito tayo sa China. Architecture.
Chicago to here. Building. Ano yun?
Hotel, ito po. Ito, hindi mo alam yung mga hotel mo.
Hindi na.
Itong bus pala.
And yung last taxi. I go to Chicago. If you want Superior, get out there.
Ano yung Genos? So ano, gusto niyo magpunta ng Navy Pier ngayon? Kasi makakagit pa 8 din doon. Gusto niyo sa Navy Pier maghamaw.
Doon ba ang sasakyan?
Doon na sa sasakyan.
Malayo pa?
Sa lake. Doon na sa lake.
Navy Pier.
Gaano kalayo gaano ka ang layo? Gaano katagal?
Sa Europe, madali. Yan yung hayat. Pagka nag-visit at sinusturang, diyan kami pinapatulog. Libre kami dyan.
Ah.
Bibigyan kami dyan. Basta mag-ano ka lang, mag-appointment ka lang. I need a room. Para hindi ka na umuwi.
Oo.
Mas gusto nilang yan.
Hindi sabi ko mamaya after the boat tour.
Mag-liver walk tayo.
Nandos.
Ito?
Pwedeng dumiretso, pwedeng... Wala kaming cafeteria rate. Puro outside ano.
Ha? Oo.
O, dito po papasok yan sa 11 po kami.
Picture. Hello.
Ganda ng kulay, oh. Yung mga bulaklak, ganda ng kulay. Ah, pasok.
Alam mo muna, baka hindi pwede yung video sa'yo.
Hindi? Huli ka, punta na tayo doon.
Hindi, pagtapos si Noy. Ah, dapat ka nanggal yung sombrero ko para kita yung mukha.
Against the sun, mahirap ito lumabas. muna tayo rito. Ano? Saan ba tayo? Ito? Shoreline?
Boarding 12:15. Shoreline. Shoreline 15.
Ayun din, di ba? Shoreline 1, 2. 2. Shoreline 2 yan.
Nakalagay skyline. Di ba skyline?
Oh, shoreline sightseeing, pareha yan, oh.
Ayun.
Umalis na.
Sure
Eh, baka may oras yun, may oras.
Hindi kaya nga, pero umalis na.
Baka nga yun, eh.
Yun.
Eh, ihita dyan sa loob, maraming ano dyan.
Hindi ka mag-PCR.
Tayo, halika na.
Oh, sige, kami naman mamaya.
Mamaya siya malas.
Tagal pa tayo.
Questions or concerns, please feel free to speak to one of the crew dressed in orange. Once again, welcome aboard. We now invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the tour. Welcome to Shoreline Sightseeing's famous Skyline Lake Tour along the beautiful and historic Chicago lakefront, where we will see the centerpiece of the city's beautiful 17-mile stretch of continuous shoreline parks, public attractions, and residential neighborhoods, including a bike path right on the waterline, along one of the most open and publicly accessible city shorelines in the world, situated here at the southwest corner of the Great Lake, Michigan. As we tour the lake shore, we'll have a view of some of America's tallest and most distinguished buildings. You will learn the historical context in which the city and the lakefront have developed, and briefly survey the ecology of Lake Michigan itself. Welcome to Chicago, the Windy City, the Second City, City of Big Shoulders, City in a Garden, City by the Lake, the city that works. It's America's third largest city in terms of population, after New York and Los Angeles, with a current population of 2.7 million people in the city limits and about 9 million in the metropolitan area. We begin our tour at Navy Pier. Completed in 1916 as Municipal Pier Number 1, it was renamed Navy Pier in honor of naval veterans of World War I. It is now a popular recreational center, and along with Millennium Park, it's one of the top cultural attractions in Illinois, averaging over 9 million visitors every year. Attractions include the Children's Museum, the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, the Sable Hotel, dining, shopping, an amusement park, concert halls, convention space, bars, ballrooms, and of course, boat rides. One of the most prominent attractions at the pier is the Ferris wheel, or the Centennial Wheel, because it opened on the 100th anniversary of Navy Pier in 2016. This is a new model, the DW60, designed and constructed by Dutch Wheels, the Netherlands-based company that built the pier's first wheel, considered the world's top designer and manufacturer of Ferris wheels. The state-of-the-art DW60 is the first and only one of its kind in the United States. Significant features include two-sided enclosed cars that allow for easy loading and unloading, a fortified structure to withstand winds of 115 miles an hour, and safety glass capable of weathering intense storms. The original Navy Pier Ferris wheel was relocated to Branson, Missouri in 2016 and is still in use there today. The very first Ferris wheel ever debuted here in Chicago in 1893 at the World's Fair, also known as the World's Columbian Exposition. Designed by a bridge builder named George Washington Ferris, it was Chicago's response to the Paris World's Fair. Mr. Ferris gave Chicago and the world a moving Eiffel Tower. During the Second World War, Navy Pier was an active naval training base where pilots were trained for aircraft carriers. Trainees included the first President Bush. After the Second World War, it became the campus of the University of Illinois at Chicago into the 1960s, when it was a working commercial pier, which later fell into disuse. The present configuration opened as a cultural attraction in 1993. It was updated once more in 2015. We are heading out on the southwest corner of the Great Lake, Michigan. one of the 5 Great Lakes and the largest body of fresh water in the continental United States. The Great Lakes comprise 20% of the world's liquid fresh water. The name Michigan is believed to come from the Ojibwa word Michigani, meaning great water. The lake itself was formed along with the other 4 Great Lakes by glaciers receding northward after the end of the last ice age about 10,000 years ago. The average depth of the lake is 279 feet, with a maximum depth of 923 feet. The average depth of this coastal shore is about 25 feet. The lake is 307 miles long from north to south and 118 miles wide at its widest point. It is just slightly smaller than the U.S. state of West Virginia or the country of Ireland. The distance from the shoreline here straight east to the state of Michigan is about 60 miles. Lake Michigan's deepest section, which lies in its northern half, is called the Chippewa Basin, named after the prehistoric Lake Chippewa. The St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes Waterway opened the Great Lakes to ocean-going vessels. Despite their vast size, sections of the Great Lakes freeze in winter, interrupting most shipping. Icebreakers, including the United States Coast Guard vessels Morro Bay and Mackinac, break ice for an average of 120 days a year in various parts of the lakes. Eastward out into Lake Michigan, you may be able to see large round structures which many people mistake for passing ships. The closest one looks like it has a striped circus tent top. These are water intake cribs which supply the city of Chicago with drinking water from Lake Michigan. Water is collected and transported through an underground tunnel leading from the cribs to filtration plants. These tunnels are 200 feet beneath the lake bed and vary in shape from circular to oval and in diameter from 10 to 20 feet. Lake water enters the cribs and flows through these tunnels to pumps at the world's largest purification plant just north of Navy Pier. The Jardine Water Purification Plant began functioning in 1968. Shortly thereafter, the Ohio Street Beach formed in the bay created by the plant. Together with the Eugene Sawyer Water Purification Plant near 78th Street on the south side, it allows Chicago's Department of Water Management to deliver nearly 1 billion gallons of water to Chicagoland every single day. The beautiful landscaping around the Jardine Water Plant and in the adjoining Milton Lee Olive Park was designed by Dan Kiley, the same landscape architect who designs the Gateway Arch National Park in St. Louis, Missouri. To the west is a trapezoid-shaped skyscraper of black glass and steel, which narrows as it rises with X-like cross-bracing on the side. This is 875 North Michigan Avenue, although many Chicagoans continue to call it by its original name, the John Hancock Center. The crisscross bracing on the side of the building adds structural integrity and minimizes the need for large girders inside the structure. Like the Willis Tower and the Trump International Hotel and Tower, it was designed by the world-famous Chicago-based firm Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, who continue to specialize in the world's tallest buildings, including the current world's tallest, the Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai. The John Hancock Center was completed in 1969. 875 North Michigan Avenue also includes an observatory on the 94th floor called 360 Chicago. The elevators to 360 Chicago are considered to be the fastest elevators in the Western Hemisphere, with a top speed of 20.5 miles per hour. 360 Chicago also includes Tilt, a panel of windows on the south side of the observatory, which hydraulically extend about 30 degrees out and over Chicago's famous skyline. Rapid and haphazard and ultimately contributed to the Great Chicago Fire, which over 3 days in October of 1871 destroyed 1/3 of the downtown area, including most of what can be seen here on our tour. This large urban fire attracted architects who came to Chicago to rebuild the city out of the ashes. This is the origin of Chicago's nickname as the Second City. Through the innovation of these architects, Chicago established its reputation as a world leader in architecture, a reputation that it holds to today. Protects the harbor is the historic Chicago Harbor Lighthouse. It was completed originally in 1893 and located near the World's Fair in Jackson Park, further south. The lighthouse was moved to its current location in 1919, situated to direct boaters to the opening of the Chicago River. The light is...
Ala, na-capture ka tuloy.
147 tayo ah. Yung salad mo, 147.
147.
Ay, di mo binaba yung cellphone ko?
Ito.
Okay.
Sabang lubya ka.
Sige.
Ay, nag-picture tayo dapat pala.
Meron na. Meron na. Wala ko kaya.
Si assistant pastor, ano?
Ay, may video na.
Ayan, may video na.
Mga tahimik kayo.
Wala.